All right. Well, we are still letting a couple people come in the waiting room, and we want to welcome everybody to our webinar today. My name is Sheila Gold. I'm the Executive Director of Admissions for Tulane School of Professional Advancement. I am thrilled that you all are joining us today. I know that this is the end of a long day, so hopefully we won't take up too much of your time, but we're excited to share information about our school and how our PTK scholarship can be applied to our undergraduate degrees and graduate degrees. So we feel like we have some good information to share. We're available to answer questions that you might have while we're getting started, and folks are kind of trickling in. If you wouldn't mind putting your name and what city you're dialing in from in the chat, that's always fun for us to see where people are coming in from. The chat, you all know how to use Zoom, but the chat's at the bottom. Gabriella, okay, so we got Kelly's from Tucson, Gabriella's from Southampton, nice, yes, from New York, absolutely. Beth Newman, Colorado, South Carolina, New Orleans, Ivy's from South Carolina, welcome, welcome. We are all over. Kansas, I think I just saw Florida, Wisconsin, Houston, Texas, Angel, Belle Chase, which is right here. One of our neighbors here in New Orleans, Alabama, California. All right, we are coast to coast from Florida to California. Well, thank you all. We are happy to have you here, and I think you'll see that our students are also generally from coast to coast. So this is a pretty good representation of a Tulane SoPA student. So a little Juan's from Texas. Juan, we're thinking about you all in Texas right now. Our hearts are breaking. Okay, so a little bit about Tulane SoPA. So the Tulane School of Professional Advancement is one of the smaller schools that makes up Tulane University. So Tulane University is made up of 9 schools, one of which is the School of Professional Advancement. The university itself was founded in 1834 as the Medical College of Louisiana. It was actually founded as a response to the yellow fever epidemic that was happening in the Gulf Coast at the time. So it's a little bit ironic that here we are in another pandemic, but where we start is where we end in life a little bit. But what is interesting for you all to know as prospective students is that about 50 years after the founding, which is not very long at all, the university said we need to have a part of our school that's dedicated to professional working adults that might not be your traditional like start after 18 years old and go straight to college, but maybe are working, going back to school to get a second degree, possibly are working and going back to school, and want to balance out sort of life and work commitments. And so they started what was the first iteration of the School of Professional Advancement. So we have been in this space for over 130 years, working with what we generally refer to as non-traditional students, non-traditional being that student who is not like directly out of high school. And you will see that our degrees reflect our commitment to our students, and also the fact that we offer flexible classes and a lot of support to work with students who are balancing a lot of different life commitments. So a little bit more we can share with you. So we are going to hit on a few things. We're going to talk about our expertise in online education. And the reason that we're going to focus on that today is because all of our master's degrees are online degrees, but our bachelor's degrees can be completed in person or online. And especially for those of you who already have your first 60 credits and want to transfer that in and get your bachelor's degree just those last 2 years, you actually can do that entire process online if you're interested. So, and many of our PTK students do that. So, you can go ahead and get a Tulane degree, get all the benefits of the degree and the faculty and the support, and not necessarily have to move from where you are if you're not interested in that. If you are interested in a non-ground education, you can do that as well, and the scholarship applies equally to both formats. We'll share share a little bit about the specific bachelor's and master's that we offer. We'll talk about our student support. I do think our student support is a differentiator for us from other universities because it's so hands-on and so accessible. We have a very strong commitment to making sure that our students are successful. So we're not just interested in enrolling students, we want to see you all graduate. We actually just had graduation last weekend. It was a lot of fun, very exciting, and we want you all to be a part of that too. So part of the fun of going to Tulane is being able to walk across that stage and get your diploma. We will talk a little bit about our affordability and flexibility. Our undergraduate tuition rate on a normal basis is lower than the rest of the university. That's on purpose. That's because of our commitment to working adults who we know have a lot of different other commitments that they need to point their finances and resources towards. But when you add in the 20% tuition discount, I think you'll see that we're surprisingly affordable for a bachelor's and master's degree. And then of course, all of this is supported by Tulane University. We're a top 40 university. And we feel like when our students apply for a job and they have a Tulane degree, it opens up doors for them. So a little bit about online learning at SoPA. So look, all of you all are familiar with online education, and most people became very familiar with it once COVID hit. What's important for you all to know is that we've been in the online space since about 2017, 2018. We've been doing this for a long time. Our classes are designed specifically to be taught online. And why that's important is that we don't just take curriculum that is normally taught in like an in-ground classroom, you know, sort of on the ground, brick and mortar classroom, and try and retrofit it to the online space. We have an entire instructional design team, which are master's level educators, people that have gotten their master's in education, but their expertise is curriculum design. And they design they work for us, they are part of our school, they are part of our faculty, and they design our classes to be taught in the online space. And so that makes the experience totally different than I think most people are aware of. We have videos that you engage with. We have small group work. We have opportunities for students to get to know each other, to know the faculty. We have simulations, that interactive simulations that for some of our curriculum, we have students that work together and maybe are responding to each other either in this format or through message boards. You will find that the classes are engaging, collaborative, and that you walk away not only feeling incredibly challenged by the curriculum and engaged by the curriculum, but you've made relationships with the faculty and your classmates. So it really is an experience that is world-class. I actually think online is a little bit of a misnomer. I really feel like our experience is more what we should call remote learning as opposed to online learning. It's remote in the sense that you can be somewhere other than New Orleans and engage in our curriculum, but you don't feel like you're just sitting in your bedroom sort of clicking through a PowerPoint and answering questions. That is sort of the opposite of the experience that we offer. What you all should also know is that at some point in the next few weeks, you'll be receiving an email from us, and it's an invitation to sit in on a class. If you're interested in just sort of sitting in on the class, they are not self-paced courses. No, this is somebody just asked in the chat. This is not like I said, it's very different than maybe online learning. You have synchronous and asynchronous classes. Synchronous meaning you need to show up to class in like a format like this, except we do it through Canvas, where you're actually in a class having conversations with faculty, with students, and there'll be certain meetings like that. Then there will be other assignments that you will have to do and turn in by certain dates, just like you would if you were in a brick and mortar classroom, and you will follow a syllabus. It is not self-paced at all. It is very much like like a traditional in-class experience. But like I said, you can do it remotely. You don't have to move to New Orleans. So but back to being invited to the class, you should take it, advantage of that opportunity. If you're interested in getting a sense of what our classes are like remotely, it doesn't cost you anything. Just, mark your calendar and RSVP, and then you can sort of check it out for yourself. So some data, we just always, higher ed, we love data. So you all should know that we have educated over 13,000 students, almost 14,000 students at this point, in over 32,000 hours of online coursework since 2018. So when I tell you we are experts in this, we are experts in this. It is a very different experience, and our students enjoy our courses, and we get good feedback, and we know that they are getting the experience that we want. We also train our faculty to teach online. So part of the reason that online education got such a bad word of mouth during the pandemic is that a bunch of teachers across the country were like, I don't know how to do this. I'm making it up every day. We do not do that. We train our faculty, and actually some of our faculty and our curriculum designers have gotten awards, national awards for online learning. So we know that we're doing it well. We have over 3,200 courses, all developed specifically to be taught online. Our 8 master's degrees, 19 certificates, and 4 post-baccalaureate certificates. And many of our online undergraduate courses are all developed to be taught in this format. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the PTK discount. So we offer a PTK discount. We know that PTK scholars are really good students and that you're going to do well in our school. That's not, what we're concerned about. What we want to do is make sure that you all get rewarded for your first 2 years of hard work, and that we can make it affordable for you to get a Tulane degree based on your academic excellence. So we offer a 20% tuition discount on our undergraduate courses and our graduate courses. And so that's important for you all to know for a couple of reasons. Some of you might have already gotten your bachelor's and are looking for a master's. Some of you might be finishing your 2-year associates and are looking at the bachelor's degree. We're also going to tell you in a minute or two about our accelerated master's program, which means that you can apply for your master's degree at SoPA after getting 75 hours of undergraduate work. So even before you finish your bachelor's with us, you can apply to a master's and just keep on going seamlessly. And the PTK scholarship will apply to all of that. So it's something to think about. For those of you who are thinking about your bachelor's, you don't have to stop there. You can go straight to your master's too. We also offer a transfer scholarship. So for those of you who are interested in the bachelor's degree, on top of the 20% discount, we offer a scholarship for transfer students, and all of you all who will be transferring your first 60 credits will get the transfer scholarship. And then we also have an up to $3,000 a year specific PTK gap scholarship. So if there's any gaps in between the 20% discount and the transfer scholarship, that $3,000 should cover that gap. So hopefully the out-of-pocket cost should be as low as possible. We have a little graphic in a minute that we'll share with you that breaks this down. Are we still yes, a gap year? Absolutely. So Kelly just asked if she takes a gap year. Absolutely. So we could talk about that offline, Kelly, but all you would have to do is apply and then just defer for a year. But the scholarship will, and you should take a gap year if that's what you want to do. Absolutely. So just a little bit about your eligibility. We will need you to have completed your associate's degree no earlier than fall of 2018, although if that is actually flexible. So if you have completed your degree, your AA before 2018, just let me know. Be an active in good standing PTK member. You will need to send us your PTK sort of certificate of good standing or membership as part of the criterion. You will need to fill out a FAFSA form, which is the federal form. You must have a minimum grade point average of 3.5. You should be enrolled full-time at SoPA after you complete your associate's degree, and maintain 12 credits for scholarship renewal. So that's a 12 credit load. All PTK graduates qualify for this scholarship. So you don't have to, it's not like some of you will get this and some of you won't. If you're a PTK member in good standing, you'll get the 20% applied to your tuition. Okay, next. So a little bit about our faculty. So at the School of Professional Advancement, can the scholarship be applied to books? No, it cannot. This is a tuition scholarship. The faculty at the School of Professional Advancement are all what we call professors of practice. And that means that all of our professors are actually practitioners in the field. They're not researchers, they're actually full-time professionals who also teach at our school. So for instance, in our paralegal studies program, Patricia Betancourt is one of our faculty members, and she's a full-time litigator. She's an attorney, she's a litigator, and she teaches for us. Bo Boudreau, he teaches some of our English classes, and he's a published poet. He teaches some of our writing classes, but he's a full-time published poet. So he can talk to you about writing and publishing. In our kinesiology program, Tyra Mitchell is our assistant director, and she's a doctoral level physical therapist. So you end up learning from the people who actually do the work. And it's a little bit of a more experiential, richer experience for our students, because they actually learn from folks who help them develop their professional skills and introduce them to their professional network and help them get jobs once they graduate. So you will find that our students are well connected in the field in which they're studying in terms of professional connections. So these are the specific degrees that the PTK scholarship applies to. Our digital design, these are all bachelor's degrees: digital design, digital media and marketing communication, exercise science, general legal studies, which is our paralegal program, health and wellness, homeland security, humanities, which is just a sort of like broad degree. So you can take any of the humanities courses for our BA in humanities, history, English, like all of the humanities degrees courses, IT, information technology, public relations, and then social science, which is very much like the humanities bachelor's, except it's a BA in social sciences, which are like your poli-sci, your psychologies, your sociologies, that sort of thing. So those are very broad degrees. So if you don't know specifically what you want to major in, but you're either interested very much in like reading, writing, history, that sort of thing, that would be more humanities. Or if you're interested in more of the social sciences, the sociologies, the psychologies, political science, that kind of thing, that would be the social science degree. All right. Yeah, so if you want a minor, you certainly can. So really it's 60 credits, right? So you can finish your bachelor's degree and also minor, and the tuition scholarship will cover that. Many of our students minor. They have a specific minor. We also offer post-baccalaureate certificates, and these are, yes, the PTK also covers for the master's degrees as well. The PTK scholarship covers our graduate and undergraduate courses. Post-baccalaureate certificates are interesting. You have to have a bachelor's degree in order to get what we call a PBC, post-baccalaureate certificate, but these are still undergraduate courses. So the tuition rate is at an undergraduate rate. Most of our education courses fall under the PBCs, but we also have a couple others in health and wellness, homeland security studies, and our paralegal studies fall under the PBC. So if you are interested in being a paralegal, you'll already have to have your bachelor's degree, but you can get the PBC. The certificate, the scholarship also applies to these certificates. We do not offer film, Brian, at the School of Professional Advancement. Actually, I'm not even sure if there's a film program at any other part of the university. I do apologize for that. All right, next slide, please. So here's a little bit about our Accelerated Masters. This is an interesting program. The Tulane Accelerated Masters you can apply to as an undergraduate, but you will have to, you can't really opt into the accelerated classes until you've reached 75 credits. So as a PTK student, if you're coming in with your associate's degree, you would be applying to be a bachelor's degree candidate, but you can say, I'm interested in the Accelerated Master's program. You'll get pre-approval to be accepted into the master's program. You'll get accepted into the bachelor's degree, pre-approval for the Accelerated Master's program. And after you've reached 75 credits, which would only be 15 credits after you've entered the program, for some of you that may even be one semester, you'll meet with your advisor and they will say, if you're interested in still pursuing the Accelerated Masters, go ahead and finish the full application process for the Masters. You've already been pre-screened. So chances are, unless you're struggling in your undergraduate classes, you will go ahead and get fully admitted and you'll be able to start taking graduate degree classes at the undergraduate time. So you could actually complete your bachelor's degree and your master's degree in about 3 years, which is a really nice opportunity. And the PTK scholarship will be applied to all of those courses. So let's tell you about our master's degrees for those of you who are interested. We have a master's in cybersecurity management, emergency management, health and wellness, which is part of our kinesiology program, homeland security, IT management, liberal arts, which again is a very broad-based master's degree. You can pick literally 30 credits of liberal arts courses and get a master's degree. It's a little bit of a create your own major. Public administration, which is like public policy and nonprofit studies, security management, and sports studies. So those are the master's degrees that the PTK scholarship applies to. So I'm not going to read all of these, but we also have graduate certificates, and these are certificates that you can get. They're graduate level courses, but you only have to take about 5 classes to get any of these certificates. If you decide, I'm really not interested in getting a full master's degree, but I just want to get a certificate, maybe develop an expertise in a certain knowledge base, whether it be nonprofit and strategic philanthropy management. Maybe you just want to take 5 classes in that, but not get the full MPA. You could go ahead and do that. If at some point you decide, you know what, I'm enjoying these classes, I'm handling the coursework well, I want to actually continue on and get the full master's degree, all of these courses stack into the master's, which means that you're already, advancing towards the master's degree. So each certificate is about 1/3 of a master's. So once you've finished a certificate, you're about 1/3 way towards a master's anyway. So many of our students just continue on and get the full master's degree. Okay, next. All right, so we have what's called credit for prior learning, and this is another way that students can save time and money towards graduation. At the undergraduate level, you can get up to 24 credits or 8 classes. At the graduate level, you can actually get 6 credits or 2 courses. And essentially what this is if there's a course towards your degree that you already have expertise in, whether it's from prior military experience or work experience, and you're like, look, I don't need to take this class. I already know this. I've been working in this field for a while, or this is something that I did professionally. You can meet with your advisor and the program director and demonstrate that you have the knowledge that the syllabus is detailing out. And if you can demonstrate that you know all the knowledge blocks in the syllabus, either through written work or doing a presentation, they will give you credit for prior knowledge. And so that's another way that you can save time and money towards graduation. We do not have a business administration. We've applied business, but not business administration. Okay. So next slide, please. All right, so a little bit about our student support and success. So what I was sharing is that I feel like this is a differentiator for Tulane SoPA. We have our own dedicated advisors and career advising just for our students that we don't share with the rest of the school. One of the reasons that I think this is important is because our students quite often enjoy having access to their advisors for lots of different reasons. Sometimes students feel like they need their advisors because they're going back to school after being in the workforce for a little while and they're nervous going back to school. Or other students might be raising a family full time, and so they may not be able to go to school for contiguous semesters, and they might need to take summers off because they have kids that are at home and not in school. There's lots of various reasons that students want to meet with their advisors, and our advisors are incredibly accessible. You can meet with them virtually every day if you want to. And they're there to meet with our students in person or online. And so our students feel incredibly supported. They also have faculty advisors. The program director for each program is also your faculty advisor. So when it comes time to sort of exploring jobs, or if you want to stick in that area and getting advice from them, remember, all of our faculty are practitioners in the field. So if you have been studying Homeland Security, for instance, the director of our program is retired naval intelligence. So you might say, look, I've really loved this curriculum. I think I'm interested in working for the FBI. He can not only walk you through what the next steps are, he can get you in touch with recruiters. He can give you access to his professional network. We just actually brought a lot of federal agencies to campus a few weeks ago and did a career fair just for our students. That's the kind of access that our students have. We also have our own dedicated career advisor. So she is just for our students. She can help you with your resume, your LinkedIn page, and also she pushes jobs postings out to just our students. So because all of our professors work in the field, their professional networks reach out to them all the time and say, we have an opening in our organization and we'd love to have a Tulane graduate. And they push that out in emails virtually weekly to our students. And generally these jobs get pushed to our students before they even hit the papers, Indeed, LinkedIn, all of those places. Okay. All right, so let's talk a little bit about our tuition. So our undergrad, all of our courses are 3-credit courses. Our undergraduate tuition rate is $596 per credit for undergraduate, but with the PTK scholarship, that's about $477 per credit hour. For our graduate courses, it's $1,158 per credit, and with the scholarship, it's down to about $926 per credit hour. Like we said, all of our classes are 3 credit hours each. A lot of our students also apply for federal grants and loans. Oftentimes we'll have military and active duty members. We're proudly a yellow ribbon school. Of course, the Phi Theta Kappa scholarship will automatically be applied to you all if you demonstrate that you're a member in good standing. And then our credit for work and life experience is also a way to save money. So just a little bit, let's see, next. So this is actually a really interesting visual that we've worked up for everybody. So if you're looking for undergraduate, the way all of this breaks down, if you're looking to get your bachelor's degree and you're transferring in your full 60 credits from your AA, you'll start out at about $35,760. We have an early application scholarship that everybody should apply and register for classes early. You get an automatic $200. You get your $1,500 transfer scholarship, and then your tuition is already down to $34,060. Once you apply your 20% discount, you can get your total undergraduate tuition for your bachelor's degree for $26,900. So that's how all of the scholarships apply towards your full degree. That's for undergraduates. We also have it broken down for graduate in the next slide. So same thing sort of applies. 33 credits is the total amount for our master's degrees. That's about $38,000. We have an early registration scholarship, which is $500 for graduate programs. When you apply the 20% discount, it's roughly $30,000 for an entire master's degree with your PTK scholarship. So you'll see that it's a pretty significant savings for our students. Let's see, the early application award, those are all on our website, but we do our application. Oh, there they are. Thank you. Anne Conlon is my awesome coworker, and she is behind the scenes running these slides, and she like totally anticipated what I was going to say. So these are our application deadlines. We have 3 starts. We have the traditional fall, a spring start, which is in January, and a summer start. Just because we have application deadlines, which you see in the big bold, May 1st, January 1, or August 1, we encourage students to apply way before the deadline. We do read files on a rolling basis. The earlier you get admitted, if you register by these early enrollment deadlines, then you'll automatically get the scholarship applied. So we encourage students, just go ahead and do it. It's an easy way to get, we like it because it encourages our students to get registered for classes in enough time that you can meet with your advisors, answer any questions, not start off your first semester kind of hectic because you're up towards the deadline. So we feel like that sets our students up for success. But we also can offer you, a little bit of money for your first semester, and hopefully that'll ease your way back into education. Oh, you just need to register. You don't, we keep a running tally of who registers for their first semester by the appropriate deadline, and we just automatically send that over to accounts receivable, and it gets applied as like a debit to your first semester of tuition. So the GAP scholarship is only for undergraduate. So hopefully that's an extra $3,000 for undergraduates. All right, and if we can go back one more. Okay, so our application process, we try to keep relatively simple, but there are a lot of questions that come up along the way, which is fine. I tell everybody, email me, don't really ever call me. I'm never really sitting at my desk, but I am always sitting in front of my emails, so I'm happy to answer emails. But our application is an online application. It's on our website, sopa.tulane.edu. There's a big apply button at the top. Press that, it opens you up to our application portal. For those of you who are applying to get a bachelor's degree or a post-baccalaureate certificate, that's the undergraduate application. If you're interested in master's, pick the graduate application. We do have an application fee for both applications. However, we have been capturing attendance for this webinar, and your fee will be automatically waived. It's just our way of saying thank you. PTK applicants generally get their application fee waived anyway, because we want to offer you some benefits. We also will need a copy of a government ID. For most folks, that's just taking a picture of your driver's license on your phone and uploading it. We'll need transcripts from any school from which you've received college credit. So send us all your transcripts. And then for those of you who are applying to master's programs, there will be a written statement for your application. There may be some short answers. There may be also a longer personal statement that is required. And oftentimes they'll want a resume. But if there's any questions along the way, we do not require the GRE for our graduate coursework. So generally that's good news for students who are looking for the master's programs. College credits in high school as well. Yeah. So if you did like concurrent enrollment, so if you were in high school, but you took a couple classes at the college level and you got a college transcript, send that to us as well, because you should actually be able to receive credits for that. All right, so this is a lot of information. My contact information is right there on the screen. Madeline just asked if you all will get a copy of this tomorrow, you'll be getting a follow-up email thanking you all for attending this webinar and reminding you that you get a fee waiver for your application. There will be a recording of this webinar attached to that. And then it will also, again, have my contact information. So if you have any questions, you can reach out for me. You don't get a code for the waiver. Stanisha just asked if you get a code. We should already have your name associated with this webinar, and it should automatically get waived. If anybody on this webinar has already applied and paid the fee, email me, I can refund you that fee. So, but if you haven't applied yet, it should just go ahead and submit your application and you should not get charged. If you do, once again, email me and I'll waive the fee, because that shouldn't happen. All right, if there's any questions, feel free to drop them in the chats. If not, that is okay. There's been a lot of questions during the webinar, which is great. I love questions. You could always email me afterwards. I love to hear from students. We philosophically believe that, the application process is the beginning of our relationship building with students. So reach out. We love to get to know you. We want you to know us. There are not yet. Tulane University has chemistry and physical sciences. The PTK scholarship does not apply towards those degrees. It only applies towards the degrees that I shared with you in this webinar that are housed at the School of Professional Advancement. And you should, in the next few weeks, get an email to sit in on classes. So just keep an eye out for that. I hope you will sit in on a class. Okay, well, everybody, thank you so much. The PTK does not cover the MSW. The MSW is in the School of Social Work, which is another one of the smaller schools that makes up Tulane University. And the PTK scholarship only applies to our degrees at the School of Professional Advancement. The closest thing to the MSW is our MPA program. I actually have my MSW, so I can speak to this pretty clearly. If you're interested in clinical work for the MSW, like actual counseling, you'll need the MSW. If you're interested in macro social work, which is more like policy or working in nonprofits, our MPA has a lot of similar curriculum, and you may want to check that out because the PTK scholarship does apply to the MPA. And is there an academic? Yolanda, email me after this, and I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I will get you in touch with an academic advisor. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much. I hope everybody has a nice, I'm assuming most people have a long weekend for Memorial Day. If not, I certainly hope that you will take some time and be with your family. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me. But I appreciate you all being with us. And just know that we hope you'll join us because we love PTK scholars. Have a great night, everyone.
You as well. You have a good night.
Thank you.